Hello, all my happy friends of frogs. How's everyone doing today? Happy Wednesday. Happy March 11th. Happy 70th day of the year. We have welcomed some sunshine. It's kind of warm outside. It's 80 degrees. I can't believe that it just seems like a week ago or so that we had some snowstorms affecting a lot of the United States. It's kind of weird. And Easter is soon, and spring will be this month. It's just incredible. At the 23rd, it'll be the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, somewhere around in there. Freckles will be here. He'll be doing some spring break or something. And he'll be coming and spending a week with me. I'm so excited about that. Also, I have an important message for you. So just give me a few minutes and I will get that on the air, get it in your earbuds and let you stew on that for a little bit. I did find my message. It was in the spam folder, but when she told me to look for a message, I was looking on Facebook for this message, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. That's another Dust Bunny that I had there. So I had to check my email, Cassie's _corner. She did email the right place at outlook.com. Cassie's_corner at outlook.com. So I did get to respond to her. I'm so happy about that. That's another Dust Bunny that's poof. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I was so excited that I had found the message. It was in a spam box. So that's for you, lady. Also, today is beautiful. Beautiful. I hope the weather's beautiful where you are. I hope you're as excited about spring as I am. I feel just so elated that the warmer weather is coming out. I don't have to worry about the cold weather. But I talk about depressive behaviors. I talk about ways of getting over it. I talk about ways of controlling these depressive behaviors by way of controlling your mind. And you control your mind, not letting your mind control you, because when it's your mind controls you, then you're in a lot of trouble. You will stay depressed and you will stay upset and you will stay in a sad mood. And I have learned the hard way. I had to learn the hard way. I don't want anyone to learn the hard way. I don't want anyone to suffer for 20 to 15 years or 15 to 20 years, however you want to put it. I don't want someone to find the best thing about them and then it be 6 years from that moment until now. Okay, I don't want you to be delayed in your happiness and in your joy and in your freedom and in your peace. And I do this by the way of stoicism. I am not a stoic by no means, but I do practice some of their beliefs and some of their control methods because they do work. You're talking to a person, or you're looking at a person who suffered a bad bout of depression where I was angry, I was mad, I was pitching fits and hating people. I mean, literally just acting like people were getting on my last nerve. Couldn't work. I was not getting along with people at all. I couldn't be in public. My husband wouldn't let me go. He still doesn't let me go to many public affairs, but he was like, I don't know if I can take you out in public because you don't know how to behave yourself. And it was true. I had no idea when I was going to have my next lash out, or if I could control it or whatever. So I'm good. I'm far removed from that time. And we're talking about laying in bed. We're talking about not motivated. We're talking about no energy. We're talking about just hating to waking up and being like, oh my God, not another day. So I do know how you feel. I'm not saying I was not depressed, and I'm not even hinting that you aren't depressed, but there's a way that you can control it. And I go through the Daily Stoic. It's a book. And it goes like January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd. And we've done all the way up to March 11th for today. Today's message is very important. And it helps me so much, even as I read it for the audience now. I'm seeing more things that I didn't see before when I first read this book. And I'm applying it as I go. So I'm still healing. I want you to heal. I want you to enjoy your life. I want you to have joy in your life. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Leave me a comment to let me know, or to let YouTube know that I fit in their algorithm. They'll recommend my videos a little bit more, and I'll be able to reach other people. I have reached Australia. I've reached Canada. And my grandson, Freckles, told me the other day, we were talking, he was like, I didn't know you had people from, internationally. That's awesome. You have fans internationally. I don't even have fans internationally. I felt bad for the little kid, but all he does is game stuff. He's awesome though. He's an awesome kid. I can't wait to see him. I miss him so much. So today's message on March 11th is living without restriction. Where am I going with this? I feel like this is a very, very important item to hear, a very, very important item to read. So let me get this to you, and we'll see what it means. Living without restriction. Here we go. The unrestricted person who has in hand what they will in all events is free. But anyone who could be restricted, coerced, or pushed into something against what they will is a slave, and Epictetus said that in his discourses. Take a look at some of the most powerful, rich, and famous people in the world. Ignore the trappings of their success and what they're able to buy. Look instead at what they're forced to trade in return. Look at what success has cost them. Mostly, freedom. Their work demands they wear a suit. Their success depends on attending certain parties, kissing up to people they don't like. It will require inevitably realizing that they are unable to say what they actually think. Worse, it demands that they become a different type of person or do bad things. Sure, it may pay well, but they haven't truly examined the transaction. As Seneca put it, slavery resides under marble and gold. Too many successful people are in prisons or are prisoners in jail of their own making. Is that what you want? Is that what you're working hard toward? Let's hope not. I remember long ago when Elvis was alive, when I was a little girl. And I remember hearing the story that he had to have department stores closed down if he wanted to go Christmas shopping. He had to do it in the middle of the night and have certain department stores closed down, and then he could go in and shop himself, maybe for his family, his daughter and his wife Lisa Marie, however that worked. And I thought that was a sad way to be, that he had to close down everything and do it in the middle of the night, losing sleep, which, I mean, he was an entertainer. I'm sure he was used to that. But just not being able to be among a crowd of people to shop for his family. And I thought that was a sad situation. There are also entertainers, celebrities, singers, actors, things like that when they say the first thing that comes to their mind, whether it be a joke or whether it would just be a nonchalant kind of thing that they say, a lot of people have hit a zone and have wiped out their whole entire lives. People no longer hold them in respect, hold them in high regard, and it's like their career is over. They have nothing else to go for. I'm not naming names because I know a lot of them. But it's just like, you can just say one thing and that's it. Your fans are like relegated to feel that you were no longer worthy of the accolades that you once held so dear. So, I feel like there's an actress / singer that she doesn't let her staff look at her in the eye. I mean, she treats her staff just really like garbage, and I think that's just really, really wrong. By that alone, she shouldn't have. I feel like that's wrong. No matter if they're staff or not, you still have to respect them. Respect them. They don't have to respect you. It's respect is earned. Just because you're out there making money and paying their checks, it doesn't mean that they're obligated to be to be slaves in their environment. That's not fair. I would want to talk to my staff. I would want my staff to look at me. I would want my staff to be my best friends, because when things go wrong, they're going to be the one to attempt to have my back, and to make enemies out of them. I feel like that's senseless. It's just my thought. But surely, if you're attempting to make yourself rich, or if you're attempting to be a famous person, keep in mind that there are restrictions that certain like kissing up to people. I can't kiss up to anybody. I mean, it's just not something I can do. It's not my personality. I don't like doing that. If I don't like you, it's going to show. It's really going to show. And I have to say what I have to say what I feel. I may have to explain why I say the way I feel, but I will have to say the way I feel. So it wouldn't do me any good. I would like to be an anonymous, probably rich person if I could be, and not have to deal with the public scrutiny, because my mouth doesn't stop. It just does not stop. Just because I'm sitting in front of people and they're no. I created this on my own. This is my career. This is my money. And then you have to think about taxes. I always worry about getting famous, because the more money that I'm going to have, which of course I'm not going to be famous anytime soon, the more money I'm going to have to pay more taxes. So that is also a prisoner in itself. I wouldn't want to like make $3 million and pay so much money in taxes for it. I mean, that's kind of, is it really worth it? So those are the things you want to reach for if you're trying to be famous, if you're trying to be a person of power. A lot of people think that they want to be managers of whatever store, whatever food chain, whatever. There's a lot of responsibility in that. You're giving up a lot of freedom. You're talking about calls in the middle of the night. You're talking about being responsible for so much product in the day, ordering so much product. You're responsible for the money. You're responsible for the paperwork. You're responsible for the people to do their jobs. I mean, is it really worth being a man? I'm not saying settling for mediocre things. That's not what I'm saying. If that is your wish, if you feel like you are powerful enough and that you are confident enough to reach for a managerial type position, then by all means go for it. But it does restrict you and your hours and your time, and maybe time away from your kids and things. It's just there's pros and cons to looking at every little thing. I just don't feel like I could be a slave to money. I don't feel like I could be a slave to people degrading my power, even though I worked hard to get where I am. Once I've made it there, I've made it. I'm not asking you, to kiss my tail or blow smoke up my butt. That's not what I'm asking you to do. I want you, I'm going to give you mutual respect. But if I've made this money and I worked hard to do it, then, it's going to be me. Sorry, guys. Maybe I wouldn't make a good famous person at all. So there's that. That was a very important message. I think it's very in tune with today's world, especially if you want to be in a higher position in jobs or whatever. I wanted to say that I'm still not liking the way this looks. I don't like the way that my light glares off of that one photo, so that's kind of so I may change some of this around. I thought that my grandmother, when I was being raised with her or whatever, we all lived with her, and I remember my mom worked 2 jobs. She worked a furniture store in the morning, and this is where she took payments, rented out furniture, and went and repossessed the furniture if she needed to. And then she would come home in the afternoon. She would work at a bar. A lot of times my mom would come home quite inebriated. I won't even lie to you. Knowing my mom, quite inebriated. So a lot of times my grandmother would be like, okay, I'm tired of my furniture being this way. She would change it around, and she would change it around quite frequently. So my mom would come in the door, and you would hear this stumble, and you would hear this ouch, and you would hear this muffled scream or whatever, or you would hear this curse word as she was coming in the door and stumbling through everything, because she didn't know where the furniture was. She's been gone all day. She didn't know that the furniture had been changed around. And back then, I mean, this was 85, 86. There was no way, for me to call her cell phone. We didn't have cell phones. I couldn't call her at work and say, hey, Mom, I changed the furniture around, so be careful. She had to come in blindsided, not knowing what the furniture was. But it was kind of funny to, because she'd wake me up the minute she'd walk in the door, and I knew that she would be stumbling. I was like, man. So it's a family thing. It's not like, I just have to change things around. I'm just not liking the way it looks right now. It's kind of getting on my nerves. So we'll figure it out. So if things back here are changing, it's just a family thing. You have to just bear with me. I'm sorry. I helped my daughter today get insurance, and I helped her get a tag for her car. So hopefully she'll have her car up and running, and I think that's good news. Maybe she'll get a job, and maybe she'll kind of be responsible for herself a little bit more. I had to talk her out of being sad yesterday, and I was telling her some of the things that I talk about on here. She's not watching my videos, obviously. of course, she never pays attention to what I say. So she had this mentality that she wanted to be this way. And I'm like, is that really benefiting you? Are you really going anywhere with that? You haven't had a job in 2 years. Dad's paying for everything. Think about what you're doing. And she's my oldest daughter. She's 37, so I feel like she needs to be. She lives next door, but right now, my spouse is paying for both places, and I don't think it's fair. So we had to really kind of put a foot down and be like, you know what, you need to grow up. So, and then my Freckles, I said he'd be coming to stay in a couple of weeks. I really hope he gets to it. He's been complaining about a stomach ache, and that kind of makes me nervous. Of course, it made me nervous with my own children because I had appendicitis. I had, one doctor told my mom twice over a couple of weeks that it was the flu. And then when I got to another doctor, the doctor was saying, okay, we have to do emergency surgery. If this explodes in her, then, she may not make it. So the minute he cut it open, it exploded. And, yes, thankful I'm here, knock on wood. But it took me a week to come out of anesthesia. I was allergic kind of to the anesthesia, but drugs do that to me. Like Tylenol puts me to sleep. Drugs do me a whole lot weird. Like a drug would do one person one way, and it's like, oh, I'm not affected by it. But if I take it, it could either put me to sleep or make me groggy, that kind of thing. So I have to be careful with what I take. A lot of times I take Excedrin because it does have caffeine in it, and it won't put me to sleep. But there are times if I'm going to bed, I can do the dual Advil. That helps sometimes, but I have to just be really, really careful about the medicine I take. So there is that. I have to worry about my grandson and his stomach. It would drive me nuts if anything happened to that boy. Drive me absolutely mad. So how's everybody's work week doing? I hope that you're getting everything accomplished that you need to. I'm sorry, this is a quick little video. But I did want to get this very important message: not to be a slave. Don't live with restrictions if you don't have to. Not unless you're prepared. You're mentally prepared for doing that. It could also, like if you have a managerial position, and if you're depressed or anxious or whatever, it could also worsen your mood. And I'm not saying taking your mood and using it toward an excuse for not working. If you're up to it, by all means do it. But there's just certain things that you would have to be restricted for, and I would want your mind to know that. Again, write down the things you can control and the things you can't control. I know Pinterest is outdated, but if you look at some of the pictures online on Pinterest, and it'll have this little bitty circle of the things you can control, and then it has a lot of things out that you cannot control. I think that is a very good illustration talking about the things that you can't control. You can't control your husband, you can't control your kids, you can't control anybody's opinion, you can't control anybody's attitude. What you can control is how you act towards it. And trust me, for a person that suffered for so long with a deep, dark depression, it is such a godsend to know that it is up to me to control what I feel. It is not up to my brain to control any of it, because if I left it up to my brain to think, it would regress back to a depressive state of mind. This hurt. Bring it up to the past every 5 minutes. Let's not go there. Let's leave the past where it is. Let's worry about what we can control right now, and then go from there. And again, I hope it doesn't take you 15 to 20 years to figure it out. I hope it doesn't take you 6 years from your first compliment to yourself to the day that you're in a happy, joyful, peaceful place. I really don't. No one deserves to suffer. You are worthy of happiness. You are worthy of a peaceful mind. You are worthy of all the best that you desire. So, with that in mind, join me, subscribe, leave me comments, let me know where you're from. Hit that notification bell for the next time I do drop a video to let you know. And YouTube will recommend my videos a little bit more. I do realize I said that early in the video, but that's okay because it needs repeating. I do have that email, Cassies_corner@outlook.com. I did get your message. I'm so happy I did. Thank you. And I have a Facebook facebook.com/bows of happiness. You'll see me. I'm Cassie's _corner. I don't know where the period comes from. I don't know. But all it does is just show like little memes and of platitudes and positive reinforcements to help support this channel here just because. Just because. I really want you, if I'm not here, maybe I have to go on vacation or whatever, you will be able to see those platitudes and realize that those are things that I may have said, or those are things that I really feel strongly about. I'm not going to put anything up there that I don't feel strongly about. So that is that. I do hope that you've made your list again. The morning list of the things that you have to do, whether it be 3 to 5 things that you feel like you have to do. And when you check them off, that little dust bunny would go poof, poof. You don't have to worry about it anymore. It's gone. And it frees up your brain, kind of defrags your brain, like I said, the computer or whatever. Remember, your mind is a steering wheel. You're at the steering wheel car. And you're at the steering wheel, you steer it where it wants to go. It doesn't control itself. You have to control your mind. What else? Make a gratitude journal. Once you have gratitude on your mind, you learn to be grateful for everything. It is very essential that you learn the everything that you have is not just given to you willy-nilly. You know, be grateful for what you have. I'm grateful for my dogs. I'm grateful for towels. I'm grateful for toilet paper, people. I'm glad I don't have to go out in the woods and do it like pine cones and stuff like that. That's just really weird. I mean, to think about all the times in our past where people apparently they made it work. But still, that would drive me insane to know that I had to go out in the woods and I have to find something to potty with. I'm very thankful for toilet paper. I'm thankful for Q-tips. Whoever invented the Q-tip, they were like possessed with genius. They were possessed with a certain genius because Q-tips are the bomb. Toothpicks. Who knew to put a piece of wood in your tooth to get food out? Who thought about this? Who? I want to know. So there are a lot of things to be thankful for. I may be funny and goofy in telling it, but it's true. It's absolutely true. Think, what would you do without these things? What would you do? Really? Y'all have the awesome day. We only have 2 weeks, 2 days until Friday. Woohoo! Another weekend. I get to have a peaceful weekend this week. Don't ask questions. Just don't. It's not worth it. I hope that find somebody that you appreciate. Give them a compliment. I like your hair. I like your outfit. I like your shoes. I like the way you put those colors together. I like your purse. I'm a purse person. I have purses out the wahoo. And for no reason, because I don't always use them. But make sure if you're going to compliment somebody that it's something from the heart, because people can tell when you're blowing smoke up their butt. They really can. I know I say the word too often, tail. I know I say that too often, but yeah, I do my best. I really, really do my best. I don't want you to be sad. It's not worth it. It really is not worth it. Get up off that couch. Motivate yourself. You can do it. You control your brain. Don't let your brain control you. And with that, I hope you have the best of the rest of your week. And I will see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.